Woo! What a way to kick off a Friday. Freedom Friday. 2-8 News. Yo, yeah, we're back. PewPewNationTV Militia, what's going on, guys? Happy Friday. Man, it's been a good bit. As you can tell, Armando here with you guys again. I'm just feeling it today, man. It's Friday. The weekend's here. It's been one hell of a fucking week. Yeah. But I'm here. And I got some good stuff. But hey, really quick before we kick off, this version of Freedom Friday 2A News, you know, goodbye 2022 and hello 2023. What happened? Well, I'm going to tell you what happened. But first, before we kick this thing off, just want to give some shout outs, if you will. I have my trusty dandy sheet right here. First and foremost, our latest and newest Patreon member, George Gagnon. Welcome, sir. Thank you very, very much for joining the PewPew Nation Militia family. Glad to have you here, brother. Appreciate all the support. Thank you very much. Speaking of Patreon, we got Buy Me a Coffee. We've got the newest thing that's been added to the channel now, in case you haven't seen it yet. And you guys can just look at the button down below here where it says join. That's right. The channel's got memberships now. I highly encourage you, if you want to become a member of the PewPew Nation TV family, go ahead and click on the join button. Just so you can have an idea. It doesn't mean that you're automatically going to join if you don't want to, although you should. But it's going to give you some options on what's available out there. And let me just turn this down a little bit here. It's off. There we go. Some options. You know, you have tier 1, tier 2, and you have tier 3 to select from. Read through them. And whichever one you feel that you want to go ahead and contribute to, by all means, we welcome. We will take anyone, basically, except your firstborn, of course. We don't want any of them. All right. I'm telling you, man, I'm just a little raw today, man. I'm just feeling it. I'm having a great time. All right. We got a lot of things happening, a lot of changes, like I mentioned, to the channel. You know, the memberships is one thing. Patreon, of course, has been up there a little bit. Discord server is out there, of course. My Instagram page, you know, and all the links are down below. You can go ahead and check them out. But I encourage you highly. The goal for this year, and I mentioned it in the last video that I put out there, July 4th of this year, man, 5K, it needs to happen, guys. I really, really need your help on this one. And I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel here. There we go. Right? Read the ticker right there. If you're getting value out of the content that I'm putting out there, value out of the videos, of course, and anything that I basically put out there, it's free. Doesn't cost you anything. I would really appreciate the support. Again, the goal here is to bring the channel up to 5K so I can continue doing upgrades, you know, for the channel on equipment, software, whatever is needed to make your lives more entertaining when you come and check out the content. And of course, above all and beyond, to become a little bit more educated on the Constitution, your Second Amendment rights, so on and so forth. Okay. I want to give a big shout out to Jeff Davis over at Freedom to Think. Jeff is actually my first, okay, not my last, my first membership participant here on the channel. So Jeff, thank you very much. Love you, brother. Appreciate the support. Can't wait to come and hang with you this weekend, actually. I'm going to be joining Jeff. He's invited me over for a collaboration. So we're going to be putting in some studio time. I don't know what he has in store, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. So Hog Nation, Hog Army, Hog Family, all my hog people that are out there watching me right now, I don't know. It could be another Tom review. I have no idea. He always surprises me when I get there. All I know is, you know, I expect some espresso. He got a new machine. I don't know. I'm just saying. But anyway, we're going to be spending some time with him over the weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. in any event, let's go ahead and kick this thing off, shall we? And let's get into this latest one for, Freedom Fridays, okay? It may surprise you. Let's go. Boom. All right, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Studio audience is in the house. Thank you very much. All right, guys, here it is. So, goodbye 2022. Hello 2023. What the hell happened? Well, let me start here with this because I have received, I'm not going to say a whole bunch, but quite a few very interesting emails over the holidays. Okay, you guys know very well I was out on vacation. I was down in Florida. I caught a nasty flu bug. So I was out of commission for a good bit. I am back 100%. I was still feeling it on the last video that I put out there a week or so ago, but man, I am 150% now. Been, getting back on my workout stacks, my proteins and stuff like that. Getting my exercise back going again, because you got to stay in shape. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I got some emails back and I've been going over them. And one of the emails here that I got, and I'm going to leave, they asked to stay anonymous, but basically one of the emails was, hey man, love your content that you've been putting out there, especially what you dropped last year. 2022, talking about things like, is a real, the purge video that I put out there. Is there a purge coming? Okay. Check that out. And here's where I'm going to go with this. Take note if you want. All right. Because the way that I laid out my format, basically for the show is like this. Pretend you have a big, gigantic, pincushion board. All right. And each pin that goes on the board is a video. Okay, and you're going to notice right away in the order that I'm putting these things out there anyway, I was trying to deliver a message, if you will, okay, that stems off of my introduction video to the channel when I launched this thing, and then the documentary that I put up out there about, the whole Cuba thing and, communism, socialism, and the whole how it started, basically my upbringing and what I went through, right, okay? And then from there, I broke that off and kind of brought it forward to where we are today in America and all of the things that are happening. Okay, so if you start tying that yarn from one video to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next around that pincushion board, you're going to start connecting the dots and you're going to start figuring out what I'm really, really trying to deliver here and what I'm trying to tell you guys. All right, so this one is a real purge coming? I said basically in that video, that, and I'm looking at my other screen here, that this law, Chicago passed a radical purge type of law, if you will, that they now have officially coined it Pika. Okay. Pika, P-I-C-A. Pika in Spanish means itch. And man, you talk about a rash. Holy shit. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I might get into that later. I don't even want to advertise that anymore. But anyway, that purge law, I said it. And I put, and in the video, there's a clip in there from a sheriff from another county in Illinois that actually talks about the same thing. All right. So, said fan here, is talking about, I watched that. And now all of a sudden it's become reality. I said it was. I told you guys, January 1st, 2023, it's going down. It's going to go into effect. Presto, there we go. Okay, 2023. 2022, it was like, gee, I don't know, conspiracy theory, Armando tinfoil hat. No. It happened. That's one. Check that box, okay? After that, I started talking about, Massachusetts came online, Oregon, okay, with Measure 114. Then it was HR 1808, the laws up in New York, the anti-carry bill that was passed again in New York, the mass shootings in California on record. I'm going to touch on that a little bit later you guys are going to love this because Miss Dianne Feinstein has introduced another bill, okay, in the attempt for the gun grabs, which is basically now they have come up with another fictitious name, which is the assault pistol. Assault pistols, okay, like pistol, not rifle, pistol, all right, banned. That's right, banned. Which brings me to my next video, okay, which was Canadian provinces raise a middle finger at Trudeau's gun buyback program, okay, which was, you know, and then there's an update video, which is the latest update on the Canadian gun grab restrictions. Okay, so basically what Canada did here, just give you a little bit of a refresher, but then again, you got to go and check out the video. So down below, go ahead and click on them and watch them if you want to start connecting those dots, like I said earlier. Basically, the provinces in, not all of them, I'm going to say, if I remember correctly, 3 or 4 provinces in Canada basically raised the middle finger at Trudeau and said, hey, man, we're not buying into this gun confiscation, buyback, whatever the hell you want to call it thing. We just ain't having it, all right? So they went down that road. They started with, you know, your SKS rifles, AK-47s, AR-15s. You know, they just went out. They went after their assault weapons. Again, another made-up phrase, all right? There's no such thing. But anyway, they started with that. And me, with my background and my history here, I said, that's just the beginning. They're not going to stop with just rifles. After that, they're coming for, you know, pistols. They're coming for slingshots. They're coming for, you know, dart blowers. Okay. They're coming for everything, because the end game, the goal for these radical communists, okay, is to confiscate everything that you can possibly have to defend yourself against whatever crooks, you know, criminals, governments, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter, because that will give them ultimate and complete control over you. And then welcome to complete and total enslavement. Here in America, your elected officials, all right, already have everything out of the 5-step rule, okay, in the Saul Alinsky plan, the, you know, the Lenin Plan, you know, it's the 5-step rules to total, complete takeover and enslavement, all right? They already have 4 done. They have 4 of them done. Education, done. Economy, done. Healthcare, done. Food, done. What's left? Second Amendment. The second, dude, is what's left. And in between the first 4, you know, the media's in there and all that good stuff. You guys know this already, right? You know, so you don't need to know anymore. Anyway, you get the picture. All right. The right for you to defend yourself. The Second Amendment is the only thing that you have left, or we have left. Okay. When that goes, as it went in Cuba, and I witnessed this with these 2 eyes right here, when they came in and took my dad's guns, your country is over. You are done. You are now living on your knees. Okay. You're now living on your knees. So from the Canadian provinces raise a middle finger at Trudeau's, that was just the beginning. Then I put another video out there, which was the latest update on the Canadian gun grab and restrictions. Where are we at now? Well, now they've evolved, okay, and they've gone past the rifles, and now it is complete banning of everything. No more purchasing, no more sales, no more transfers unless you are licensed to do so. And the people that are licensed are working for the government or some sort of branch for the government or said local military. Okay. Pistols. They came after the pistols. I know competition shooters that run IPSEC, especially up in Canada, because they are CZ guys, as I am. Okay. They can't get Shadow 2s anymore. That was the first hit that they took, was Shadow 2s. Why? 19, 17 round magazines, even some you can outfit with 21 plus magazine rounds in a magazine. They're like, we ain't having that. Screw that, man. 10 if you're lucky. Okay. And that's it. Well, sorry. So much for the competitive circles. All right. I remember a competitive shooter. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, from Venezuela, before that country went under, because they went through the same process that Canada went through. And now they're attempting to put us here in America through the exact same process as well. They all follow the same game plan. You understand what I'm saying? And they're starting to do that here. And we need to stop that. We need to stop it. All right. She was a competitive shooter as well. Well, guess what? She shot 9mm, as most competitive shooters will. All right. Well, they got rid of 9mm. Then she went to 40 Smith & Wesson, and that went away. Then after 40 Smith & Wesson, she went to 45. Well, and then 45 went away, caliber. She wound up, after exhausting all other calibers to shoot with, 22. You heard me right, 22 caliber. Eventually, those went away as well. Now she has nothing. She somehow found her way out of the country and immigrated here to America the right way. Okay. And now she shoots competitively here. So I heard her story, talking about how that process went. And it was like me hitting rewind in my brain and hitting replay again, because it's the same exact damn story that I witnessed, coming up. Same thing. Well, Canada now followed suit. So that video right there will tell you where it was at, okay, until it was all done, okay? The one that comes after that, which will start clicking, was gun control and gun rights, okay? Is there hypocrisy in gun control? And I did a reactionary video to that. Again, check them out down below, okay? And from there, there really was nothing else left, to be honest with you, except for one. And this was very, very, very early on when I started creating these videos and talking about this stuff, was, SCOTUS's ruling in the New York State carry laws, which, again, HR 1808. I'll go back to that. Well, guess what? Here we are now in 2023. Second email participant here. Armando, hi. Love your program. Really enjoy the content, but everything is a little confusing now that we are in 2023, and I just wanted to get your take on the following Loy Brunson case versus USA, because technically, the Supreme Court decided that they wanted to hear this case, and this is basically constitutional rule. It's not policy, because I've mentioned this before. So the Supreme Court justice will only hear and will only rule under one pretense, and that is constitutional law, the Constitution. All right. They can't rule on anything that is policy oriented by the executive branch that goes out there. In other words, whatever your current president decides that he wants to push through or shove, down your throat, if it's outside, if it resides outside the Constitution, Supreme Court's not going to hear it. They're just not. Okay. Why? They cannot rule on policy. They can only rule on what's within the confines of the Constitution, because at the end of the day, without the Constitution, all right, without the piece of paper, there is no Supreme Court justice. When you have a Constitution, you have a Supreme Court justices. All right. And that's what's there. All right. So the Brunson case, in case you're not familiar with that. Okay. It's a group of brothers out from Utah. Basically, in a nutshell, all the policy rulings, okay, or implementations that the government has done, some of them do work their tentacles over into the Constitution, and that's what they were sticking to. Okay, and this is where their argument was coming, and this is where the lawsuit filings were coming from. Basically violations of the Constitution, whether it was First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth, Fifth, whatever the case may be. All right. If heard by the Supreme Court justices, all right, it would be deemed unconstitutional, and there would be a price to pay. Meaning, people were going to go to jail. People were going to be brought up on charges of treason, and you guys get the drift. Basically, you're wiping out everything from the very, very top, okay, all the way to the very bottom, including 360 senators, past and present, that were going to get the axe, okay, be put out of power, and possibly even do jail time if not treason, which is, you know, what the deal is with that, right? And they were like, ooh, this is a game changer. We're going to get America back now. And I was very much in tune into this case, but then again, here's the golden nugget. I've created another video and I put it out there that's called Lawfare. That video, unbeknownst to me, and it caught me completely off guard, is now up to 5,610 views. I don't have any other video that even comes close to the views that video got. And it's basically a 1 hour and 1 minute documentary that I did because lawfare. This is World War III. We're in it right now, but it's not your typical conventional war that we're in. This is not warfare. This is lawfare. All right. And that's what that video talks about, how they're using the law, okay, to backdoor and circle the way around the actual true written law by changing certain words, which changes the law in its entirety. You really need to watch that video if you're like me, if you go down that geekdom rabbit hole of law, especially if there are any law people out there, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. They are using the hell out of this and they're getting away with anything they basically want. Okay, because remember, if it resides outside the Constitution, it doesn't get heard at the local level, at the state level. You'll be lucky if it makes it to the federal level. And you can forget the Supreme Court. It's not going to make it there if it goes anywhere outside the Constitution. If it goes in the Constitution, then maybe. So that's what they were going with in the Brunson case. Now, I get an update, and that update is SCOTUS decided that they were going to hear the Brunson case. I was like, oh my God, they finally did it. Oh, this is going to be good, right? The date to hear the case was, ready? January 6th. Ring a bell, January 6th. Okay, of this year, 2023. Well, I have a good friend of mine, and I can't say his name here because he is I'll just tell you this, he's a former JAG officer, JAG for Judge Advocate General. Okay. He's a veteran today, but he is very much in tune to what's going on, and we chit chat every now and then. He's like a source for me, if you will, to get my info because he's very, very, very well in tune to what is going on. And matter of fact, I'm going to read some of his stuff here verbatim off of my phone here, because it's important that you guys know this. All right. It's really, really important. Let me go ahead and bring it up here really, really quick. This was not scripted, by the way. This is totally and completely off the fly. And where is it at? Here we go. Here we go. I'm trying to find a deal on the Brunson case. Here we go. All right. So I asked because, January 6th came. I don't hear anything. I go to the lamestream media. No one's saying anything. No one's bringing it up. I go to the cable outlets. I don't hear anything. I don't know anything. I'm hitting Google. I'm hitting all the search engines I can hit out there trying to find status on Brunson versus USA. I can't find squat. I mean, this is like on total silence, man. I mean, there's nothing out there. I don't know shit, right? So it's like, gee, I wonder what happened with that thing because they said they were going to hear it and they were going to do it on January 6th. Remember that date, right? And then I'm thinking, well, the Supreme Court may be a little bit angry, if you will, because they had their lives threatened, if you recall watching that stuff. And their lives were being threatened by the very same people who are doing this shady stuff, okay, with lawfare. All right. So I'm thinking, okay, so that's 2 strikes that they basically got to try to get this case, heard and, slam it down and say, be done with all this crap, right? And get our republic back. Well, I don't hear anything. I hear nothing at all. Here we go. January 9th. Okay. January 9th. I send my friend a message and I got to be careful not to mention his name here. And it said, I can't find anything current on the Brunson case. Is there any at all? His reply came out this morning. Will not hear the case. That means no consequences for not following the Constitution. Look for a full-on attack on the second now, on the Second Amendment. Full-on attack. This is January 9th. Okay, January 9th. I just got through done talking about all these videos and everything that they talked about in 2022 when it came to violations of the Second Amendment with Measure 114 in Oregon, HR 1808, the gun stupid policies being implemented in Massachusetts, in New York State, and a bunch of other states, California even, again, okay, for the upteenth time. And I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, he was actually right. This is a full-on assault on the Second Amendment. And here we are. Today's Friday, the 27th of January. How many mass shootings have we had here recently? California, right? Done with a pistol, not a rifle. Dianne Feinstein introduces new bill, assault pistol ban. I'm like, holy shit, another made-up term. Doesn't matter. They're going to come after all of them. They're following the same playbook like Canada, all right? The other mass shootings that have happened along the country, sad but true. People died. I understand. I get that. Okay, I totally get it. I mean, here in Atlanta, an hour south of me, what's going on with the police academy thing that they implemented. Well, Antifa decided to show up, okay, and start their destructionary campaign. People were arrested. None of them were local, by the way. They were all from out of town. All of them. Every single last one of them. So was this staged? Were these paid actors by Mr. S, okay, to start all this commotion? Gee, I don't know. Now we have, this poor kid, this 23-year-old, from Memphis up in Tennessee, okay, that got pulled over for a supposed traffic violation or something like that. And 5 police officers are now sitting in jail, or I think 4 of them bonded out. This kid's dead, man. This kid's dead. My skin crawled. I just saw the videos earlier today, the police cam videos of that. There is no way in hell trained police officers, okay, are going to do what these guys did. There's something else here. I smell shit here in this whole case, okay? I really, really do. And forgive me, okay? And my deepest apologies to the family members of this poor kid, especially the mother. Holy crap, no parent should ever have to go through this at all, no matter what the circumstances are. It sucks to lose a kid, all right? What was done to that poor man was just outright wrong, in my opinion. I saw the videos. They could have handled that a lot differently, okay? I know what it takes, okay, to basically restrain somebody, okay, to the point where you can just slip on a set of handcuffs and put him in the back of a car, the Jeep or the truck or whatever the case may be. Been there, done that. I'm telling you, there's a way to go about doing this without kicking this guy in the face, without punching the shit out of this guy like I saw in this video. And there's 5 police officers against 1 skinny kid. 1. Okay? They even hit this kid with pepper spray, man. All right? And you're going to tell me that 5 guys need to beat the shit out of this kid because they could not restrain this kid? Something else is going on here, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole just yet. Okay? I'm not. All right? So what happens now? Well, I don't know. Maybe Antifa will show up again. Let's start the burning. Let's start the looting. Let's start the rioting. All of this stuff is being done by design. That's my opinion. Again, it's all being done by design, man. And I mentioned it last year in 2022 again. You think shit was bad then? You wait till the beginning. And I said this in just about every single video related to this topic that I put out there. I said it. Okay? 2023, the first 6 months of 2023, especially first quarter, it's going to get real. It's going to get very, very real. And here we have it. All right. And you're going to say, well, Armando, how can you, say, dude, this is again replay in my head. This is a serious move to get this country to socialism on steroids. And they're going about it extremely, extremely fast. This is no longer politics. This is no longer politics. This is no longer right versus left, left versus right. No, this is, in my opinion, again, this is good versus evil. We are dealing with some evil demonic shit here. Okay, again, my opinion. All right, you guys can choose to believe whatever it is that you want, but I can only speak to you from personal experience. And I'm no expert in a lot of other things, but this, I know my shit. Okay, so let me continue with this. Look for a full-on attack on the 2nd. My reply to him was, we're done. Okay, he says, yep, Cuba is beginning to look like a better option now. He's being facetious here. In other words, he's basically telling me, I mean, Cuba's been communism, has been communist. I escaped from there, some long time ago. And they're shafted, they're screwed. I mean, they're forget it. That's like the bottom of the barrel. You can't get any worse than that right now, currently. But at least they have one thing over there. And this is why he made this comment. They have hope. They don't have anything else, but hope they have that one day it'll all go away and everything will go back to normal. I don't think that's going to happen, but him being facetious. Here's what I say to him. And again, I say this because this ties into the ending of the email. This gentleman asked about what's happening with all this stuff. Okay. And it is, I tell him, I smell revolution on the horizon, just like it happened in Cuba, except, we still have our guns. For now anyways, right? This is a JAG officer, guys, okay? This is no dummy. No dummy whatsoever. This dude is very, very smart, knows what he's talking about, all right? His answer made me lean back in my seat, and it made my brain just like froze for a moment, and, another one of those oh shit moments clicked in my head, and I went, oh damn, he is spot on. And that really worried me. All right. So his answer is there will be no revolution. There will be no revolution. Americans don't have a backbone. Just look at how many lined up for the shot. Okay. You guys know what I'm talking about. Which, 3+ million that drank the Kool-Aid. There's not going to be a revolution, man. They already bought into the system. They're beyond the indoctrination. Okay. They are done. Remember the song Sheeple, Tom McDonald? There you go. They're done. No revolution, man. All right. My reply to him was, true. Well, I guess I'll be another statistic because I ain't giving mine up, meaning my pew-pews. All right. His reply, they will not mind killing you. They can't have dissenter. That is the way it goes in a totalitarian society. That's what I wanted to mention. They are taking us down that road to a totalitarian society. This is no longer about politics. This is good versus evil. Okay, and that's the war that is happening right now. This is World War III, but it's not your typical conventional war. Okay, this is good versus evil. The next thing that I'm going to tell you is not really two-way related, but this actually will help you understand a little better. Okay, so while all of this is going on, okay, with, the gun situation, the violations of the Second Amendment, the Constitution, all these mass shootings that are unfortunately happening around the country right now, there is one piece of bigger news that no one is actually talking about. Okay. Maybe some of you out there have heard it. You know what happens in January every single year? Davos, Switzerland, World Economic Forum, their yearly meeting. Okay. Just like what happened 2020 when Trump was president, he went to that meeting. Okay. And he basically told them all to pound sand. That was in January. Soros came out and did some little talking about, he's not going to get it away. You don't have to worry about it. The re-election for Trump will never happen in America. This is January, okay? And he is already talking about the outcome of the election in November. Guess what? We got in February, COVID. And then the elections happened in November. He lost. The rest is history, okay? I'll let you guys piece that in. But here's another one that made me stop and go, uh-oh. This sucks. The big news that is not in the news is that Saudis will not be backing the dollar. Said it at the World Economic Forum. That will affect everyone on the planet. I look for hyperinflation to be here soon. That will be the excuse to bring the CBCD, which is the central bank currency, whatever, the digital currency, right? Central bank currency digital, or whatever the acronym stands for, but that's basically what it is, central bank. So, who is the central bank? The Fed? The Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Vatican, the Royals. I don't know, but it ain't us. It ain't Bank of America. It sure as hell ain't, Truist or whatever. It's the central bank, which to me is the Fed. I'm being facetious here. Okay. The CBCD will be the one world currency. That's what he is predicting. Look at a little bit at the financial situation in the news and what's going on right now. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because a lot of you guys out there in the audience right now are, I'm just going to come out and say it, you guys are younger than I am, okay? And a lot of you, no fault of yours, may not be very well in tune, to things of Gen Xers, okay? And, how that transition came along. I feel it's my duty to educate as many people as I can in these events as to what the hell is really going on, because it's your future. It's your future, man. And some of you out there got kids as I do and stuff like that. And my heart breaks for them, a lot, because I don't want you guys or any of these kids to go through my upbringing, if that even makes any sense. Because number one, it's not fair. And number two, it just royally sucked. Death and I have a very close relationship. I've seen a lot of it. And I don't wish that on a lot of people at all. Okay. My response to his comment on the whole CBCD was, I knew that was coming, and I did. The non-elected WEF communists are running the show. Here's the funny part, too. Our governor here from the state of Georgia, Brian Kemp, he was there at the meeting, too. Ha! Surprise! And then, of course, on a separate note, just a separate ticket, know that things are happening. Know that things are happening. A friend of mine, former law enforcement officer, filmed this from his apartment window in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This is Army for sure. And what they're doing is they're doing fast rope drills on top of a nearby building. And I asked them, could this be martial law drills? Okay. So my buddy who filmed this video with his phone is filming this from the balcony of his apartment. He lives in Fort Lauderdale. And this was a Black Hawk helicopter that basically hovered over the apartment building across the street from his, and they had soldiers doing rapid rapid rope rappelling drills coming out of this helicopter. So they fast roped on top of this roof, dropped everybody off, and then the helicopter took off. I got the video clip right there with the buildings, as you can see. I'm not going to play it here to share with you guys in this video because I don't know if there will be any repercussions on my end, and it might get me in trouble with the platform. So I'll look into it a little bit more, and if I can put it up there for you guys in a future video, I will. But for now, I'm not going to. Just know that this is happening. On that note, yesterday, while I was running some errands, the place that I was at, I had 2 Black Hawks do a very low flying flyover, if you will. 2 of them. It happened twice within an hour from different directions. Okay. I get home. It's like about 5:20 in the afternoon, and all the way up till around 11:20 at night, my house got buzzed 5 times. 5 Black Hawk helicopters again, because I went outside and I looked. Okay. I know what they sound like also as well. They have a very distinct sound. All right. And if you've ever heard these helicopters before, those of you that have served, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. They sound a little different. Just like the choppers, the Hueys back in Vietnam, they have a very distinct pop, 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 to it. And these Black Hawks, they're no different. My friend Charlie used to say back in the day in Vietnam, he goes, that's the sound of good news when you hear that Huey noise. That means they were coming to get his ass out. Anyway, not to get off on a tangent here. So here we go. Something's going on. Now, I do know, to be honest and to be fair, I do know that I live very close to Lake Lanier. Jeff lives from Freedom to Think, lives on Lake Lanier. And I do know that the military does do a lot of exercises there. Okay. I do know that. But it just seems a little weird on the consistency and the frequency, if you will, of said exercises. Because usually they'll fly in, they'll rappel, they'll land, they'll hit the lake or hit, somewhere, some space out there, and they'll do their thing. Then they'll, go to their LZ and they'll exfil out and they're gone. Okay. And that's it. But to be going back and forth, especially at night with that kind of consistency, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems a little odd. And there's a lot of weird shit going on that I've been seeing and I've been hearing about, law enforcement presence, maneuvers, there's just a lot of commotion and a lot of not normal, if you will, things happening that I'm very aware to. I don't know. All I can tell you is be vigilant because this is just not normal. So, not to get very long here with this, everything that basically I talked about in 2022 with the videos on what's going on with 2A, what's going on with the state of the world, the nation and stuff like that, is starting now to come into fruition in 23. That's why I coined the beginning of the video, what happened? And now I'm telling you what's happening and what's going to continue to happen, and it's not anything good. Now, there is some good news here, okay? There is some good news here. Going through this entire ordeal, by the way, a little caveat moment here, if you don't mind. I think I'm going to do a video and talk about this. Trigger. There's a video that I put out there also as well. Go down there and look for it and watch it. Codex Alimentaris. It talks about food. It talks about food. Okay. I may do a video. This may be another video for me to do and talk about because it's kind of like away from what we're talking about here today. But I'm just going to drop this little nugget for you guys right here. Obesity, sluggishness, brain fog, joint muscle hurts, not really getting or feeling as energetic as you used to. Okay. Especially when it comes to nutritional or just overall health and feeling. All right. heart issues, some other health issues also as well happening, right? Where you're just not, you're not, you don't have that energy, man. You don't have that drive, that clarity of mind, that focus and stuff like that. Food related? Yes. What's going on with eggs and chickens? I mean, the latest memes out there, Jeff, okay, are the chicken egg memes, okay? I mean, they're funny as hell. I shared one out there today that basically shows an egg dropped on the kitchen floor. It's cracked and it's open and it's all messy and yucky and stuff. And it said, I accidentally dropped an egg this morning while making breakfast. I called my insurance company and to file a claim, and they said the adjuster will be in touch with me in 24 hours. I mean, that's where eggs have basically come to. World Economic Forum again. Read on that. They're behind this whole thing. Okay. Nutrition is becoming a problem in our country. It's been a problem for a very, very long time. Again, the video I did, Codex Alimentaris, it is a documentary, another documentary. Watch it. Watch it. Okay. I encourage you to. It was done almost 20 years ago. Hear me. Almost 20 years ago. Those beginning stages of what was already going on then, the foundations that were being laid down, was not an actual beginning of that foundation. That foundation happened after World War II, and it was started by the Nazis. Yeah. Okay. And then Big Pharma got involved with the food companies. And I'll let you think about this a little bit, not to let the cat out of the bag. Okay. If you look at people in this country, or in the world for that matter, back during the 50s, okay, look at old commercials and look at, movies or TV shows and stuff like that, especially commercials. All right. It was hard to notice obese people, and nothing against obese people. It's not your fault. Okay. Almost no obesity, especially with kids. None. All right. That started to change in the latter years of the 60s. And it just got progressively worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until here we are today. Diabetes, check that box. Okay. Obesity, not anymore. Health issues, no energy. Very little energy, can't sleep well at night, back aches, muscle aches, joint aches, all kind of other health afflictions, happening and stuff like that. It's running rampant in this country right now. It is running rampant, but don't worry. Big Pharma has a pill for everything. Get it? Let's keep you medicated. Let's keep you on medications. All right. We'll medicate you back to good health. No, they're not. Okay, trust me. I'm speaking from personal experience again, after all the shit that I've been through. All right? So what do people do? Do they blame it on food? No, that's not the culprit. Do they blame it on lifestyle? Nope, that's not it either, because I know, because I have a handful of friends that are very obese, okay? And not their fault either. It really isn't. Okay. It's not. Okay. Because they eat somewhat healthy, lots of vegetables and greens and stuff like that. And they just can't help it. It doesn't go away. It's an ongoing problem. All right. So what can it be? I'll tell you what it is. And I'll just tell you right now, it's the soil. Oh, Armando, how could you make such a statement like that? The soil? Everything comes from the soil. Okay? Everything comes from the soil. If you fuck around with the soil and you take the nutrients, the nutritional properties out of the soil, or you kill them by using pesticides, okay, or put other kind of shit into the soil, tainted water, if you will, that will affect the nutritional properties of soil. What grows in soil? Grass. Okay, grass grows from dirt, from soil. If you have healthy grass, cows that eat grass, pigs that, get their food from plants and stuff like that too, because they'll eat anything, all right? They are now ingesting those malnutritional properties from the grass. It's not going in the cows. The cow goes to the slaughterhouse, right? And you cut yourself out a nice little, prime rib or a porterhouse or whatever, and now you're eating it. What are you getting? Malnutrition shit. Because the cow got it, and then, the grass got it, and the grass got it from the soil. Okay? Fruits, vegetables, anything that you plant in tainted soil goes into the fruit. The nutritional properties of a lot of fruit, no matter what it is, okay, has anywhere between a 35 to a 45% reduction in nutritional properties that you're not getting, and you're not going to because they're not there. Oh, but I've seen some of these apples and oranges and stuff like that, and they're huge, they're big, because they're genetically modified. It's like giving hormones to chickens, right? Chickens are very small, very young and stuff like that, but man, there's some big old suckers like that, but their bones are very soft and brittle, right? Because their feed is being pumped with hormones, okay? Just being real. So remember, soil affects everything. So what happened? What changed in the late 60s? What changed in the late 60s, and I may be going a little bit long here with this, but I just need to get it out. What happened in the late 60s is that corporate farming, that term, came into effect. All right. And they started buying out the mom and pop farms. Okay. Caveat moment again. Who's the biggest farmland individual owner in America today? Bill Gates. Okay. Biggest farmland owner in America. Let that sink in a little bit. Gee, isn't he part of the WEF as well? Oh, never mind. I'll let you research that one also. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so these mom and pop farms kept getting bought out by corporate farming. Corporate farming now wants to plant more, grow more, larger, faster, tighter to keep up productionary demands. Okay. At what expense? The soil has already been tainted. This is where your GMOs come in. This is where your Monsantos come in. This is where all of these factors, which is talked about in Codex Alimentaris in the video I talked about. Make sure you check it out. All right. It'll bring all of this full circle. I'll leave you with this from a little personal note. This guy right here, yours truly, used to be a size 42 waist not so long ago. All right. I was a big dude. Believe it or not. I went from a 42 waist size to a 38 to a 36, now currently at a 32. Okay. When I got sick, I lost 30 pounds of muscle. I went from weighing 265 pounds to currently now a 204. And I'm 5'11". Okay. I'll let you do the numbers with that. Very sluggish, tired all the time, stressed, very difficult for me to get sleep. Very difficult. High anxiety, high stress, just mentally done. Okay. And I said, you know what? I need to get back into the gym. I need to get back into that game. And I have. All right. So I enrolled in the gym, and I started getting back into my boot camp regiment routine, if you will, as before, because I just felt better. What did I do different though? I decided to start, uptaking my, upgrade my intake of protein. So I'm doing a whey protein right now. Some other supplementation also as well. I cannot even begin to tell you when I started doing those stacks in 3 days, literally 3 days of just doing some light cardio. I haven't even hit the weights. I haven't gone into my other regimental workout routines, just a little bit of cardio. Okay. And taking in high consumptions of protein and other supplements just on the protein alone in 3 days. I cannot tell you how quickly I got my energy back, how quickly I have started feeling better. I get better sleep. The pains are starting to go away. I am telling you, look at the beginning of the video, man. It's just like me. It's like, let's go. Energy, right? High. Woo, yeah, baby. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Right? Why? I changed my intake, my diet. Okay? Cleaner food. All right? Cleaner means of protein. If you're taking in dirty food and dirty means of protein or nutrition, as everyone in the world is doing right now because of commercialized farming, or corporate farming as they call it, your nutritional intake is suffering. And this is done by design. Go to the WEF's website. That's all I'm telling you. Okay? It's being done by design. The food corporations and big pharma are together with each other, and they're doing this by design. Their goal is to keep you on some sort of medication, some sort of pill, okay, to alleviate, not cure, whatever symptom or problem it is that you may have. We got a problem. Okay, we got a problem. You guys need to do your own research, do your own homework on how to go ahead and change your habit around and make it work to your benefit. More to come on my progression through this regimental health change, if you will. Okay, but like I said, I'll probably come up with another video later on to talk a little bit more about this. But that's going to be it for today. Once again, guys, thanks for tuning in and watching the show today. If you're getting, sorry about that. If you are getting value out of this video, do me a favor, smash that like button, share the video with as many people as you can, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Check out the memberships by clicking on the join button there down below so you can get some more information on what your options are there. We have Patreon. We got Buy Me a Coffee. If you want to support the channel in any way, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me, on Spotify. My podcast, The Radio Show. I'm going to be putting another one out there pretty soon, just to keep people updated on the radio aspect of it. The goal here is 5K by July the 4th. I really, really would like your help. And I would really appreciate your help in helping the channel get there. Okay, I'm just really passionate about this. Once again, I will be doing a collaboration with Jeff Davis over at Freedom to Think over the weekend. So, I'm excited about that because it's always a surprise. I never know what I'm walking into, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so with that, thanks again for being here, guys. I love you guys to pieces, man. Thank you for all your support out there. And we will catch you guys on the next one. God bless. Take care.